It is time to right the ship, and you get a chance to do it against a much inferior opponent. Welcome to the Baltimore Ravens Rundown, everybody. My name is Joey Peterson. On today's show, I'm going to give you my preview into the Ravens-Bills game Ravens-Browns game this upcoming Sunday, which right now has the Baltimore Ravens sitting at 12.5 points favorites. And I know it might sound dramatic, but it feels a little bit like this is a must-win game. And I know it's not, and I know every single one of you guys is going to point me back to the Raiders game last year and say, Joey, this team lost to the Raiders in Week 2 after losing to the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 1, and they still went 12-5. They still made the playoffs. I get where you're coming with that. But this schedule gets real very quickly, okay? I'm talking after this game against the Browns, you play the Detroit Lions on Monday Night Football. Then you go on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. Then you play the Texans, then you play the Rams. It doesn't get easy quick. You need to win games like this. So coming up, I got my keys to victory against Cleveland. I'm going to give you 5 of them, and then we're going to wrap this thing up with my Ravens-Browns score prediction. Of course, I want to hear your guys' prediction in the comment section down below. Our Week 1 watch party was phenomenal, and we will also be live again for Baltimore versus Cleveland. 248,000 views on that watch party against the Buffalo Bills. This is your first time with us and you don't know what a watch party is, we go live an hour before the game, have a little fun tailgate time, and then I'm live doing play-by-play. We're all hanging out, having fun during the entirety of the game. 250K views off of that one, biggest one in channel history. We added 1,600 subs. 7,800 people at once were watching at the end of it. The good news is we're live again this Sunday, so join us at 12 o'clock Eastern Time. Make sure you subscribe, turn on those notifications, so that way you don't miss it. My number one key to victory, okay? Avoid the hangover loss. And unfortunately, this is something that you could not avoid last year. I know we already talked about it, but this can't be another Las Vegas Raiders game. The exact same situation. High leverage, brutal, disappointing, sad loss to open up the game on the road against one of the top teams in the AFC. And then you have an inferior opponent coming in your building in Week 2. You lost last year. You can't do that again. Last year you had 11 penalties for 109 yards in that game. That's not going to cut it. That has to change this time around, okay? You're better than the Browns, and you were better than the Raiders last year. Your first drive, after the end of the third quarter to the end of the game, interception. Second drive, touchdown. Awesome. You're up 10. Then drive number 3, 3 and out. That led to a Las Vegas touchdown. Drive number 4, 3 and out. That led to a Las Vegas field goal. Drive 5, you ended the game in 5 plays. Okay? That can't happen again. You can't do that against the Browns. You are better than them. At the end of the day, this roster is better than Cleveland's in almost every single way. Now, do they have a better pass rusher? Yeah, for sure. Myles Garrett is maybe the best pass rusher in the National Football League. But outside of him, in my opinion, you are better than almost everybody else. And you got the gauntlet coming up, okay? The Bills, that was the first part of it. You lost that game. That means you can't afford to lose this one because after that, you got the Lions, you got the Chiefs like we've already talked about. It gets real very quickly. So this one, you got to get that done. Who do you got? Let me know in the comment section down below. This is your time to claim your allegiance. If you think Baltimore's going to win, or if you want Baltimore to win, give me a BAL. If you think Cleveland's going to win for some reason, go ahead, give me a CLE. Number 2, you have to protect Lamar Jackson, okay? That's on Daniel Fa'alele. That's on Ronnie Stanley, Tyler Linderbaum, Roger Rosengard, and Andrew Forrest. It's on everybody. You have to protect Lamar because, like I talked about it, they have Myles Garrett, and he is an absolute game wrecker. Besides Lamar Jackson, Myles Garrett might be the best player on the field on Sunday. And what you must do is you must avoid getting in situations like Cincinnati found themselves in this last Sunday. Because Cleveland did a really good job at getting to Joe Burrow. Lots of pressures given up. Lots of sacks for Cleveland. Now, the good thing is, Lamar Jackson, when it comes to the blitz, when it comes to pressure, he is one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. And so, that bodes well for Baltimore. But still, regardless, you are going to be better off if he's protected. That means Daniel Falele is going to have to step up. We showed these to you on, I believe it was Monday's show. Terrible blocking right here against Ed Oliver. And then this next one is just inexcusable. He's turned around. He doesn't know where to go. He's facing the other way. Then he turns around again. He's looking like, where am I going? What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to be blocking? Where am I? What sport am I playing? What's my name? He did not know anything, okay? He did not know anything. And this cannot happen, okay? The Cleveland Browns ran a stunt against Cincinnati. Myles Garrett went from the edge, looped around, went right up the center, and as you can see right here, had about as big of a hold of the quarterback, probably bigger than he's had since he was playing high school football. And he just teed off on Joe Burrow. That cannot happen. What should happen is you guys check out our awesome new sponsor. Not a new sponsor, but a sponsor that's back. Our great friends at Ethos. Look, guys, it's not fun to think about what would happen if something happened, but you do need to be prepared. With life insurance through Ethos, your family is protected. Life insurance is a perfect way to make sure you're covered. You can get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL Daily. That's ethos.com/NFL Daily. As you know, my wife Kennedy and I got married last year. I imagine we'll buy a house, start having kids sometime decently soon, and if something were to happen to me, the last thing I want, the people I love, to worry about is being able to pay the bills. So I trust Ethos to keep them protected. Ethos is an online platform that makes getting life insurance fast and easy. To protect your family's future in minutes, not months. Life insurance is more affordable than you think with Ethos. You can get a free quote and customized rate that fits your budget. The process is 100% online with no medical exam required. Ethos is a trustworthy company that disrupts the traditional life insurance industry. As of March 2025, Business Insider named Ethos the #1 no medical exam instant life insurance provider. In fact, 3 million families have completed their applications and trusted Ethos to help them find their right coverage. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/NFL Daily. That's ethos.com/NFL Daily. Now back to the football. Number 3, you have to be able to force turnovers. Okay? You weren't able to do it last game. And frankly, you weren't really able to do it last year. That is what separated you from being a Super Bowl contender, was your inability to force turnovers in the big moments. Pretty much your inability to force turnovers all season long. You had no turnovers against the Bills, even though you had multiple chances. Malachi Starks, how electric would that have been if his first play as a Baltimore Raven, he ended up picking up that ball that hit him right in the chest. Chidobe Awuzie, we thought he picked it off. He ended up not. And if you look back to Sunday's game, the biggest turning point was Buffalo forcing a turnover. And last year against the Browns in that loss, you had chance after chance after chance. That one was dropped. Okay? This next one, Marcus Williams, high point. I know he's not on the team anymore. He sucks. That one was dropped. And then the most egregious one, probably, even though I love Kyle Hamilton and I don't like saying anything ever bad about him, but this is about as bad of a drop as you can get. Right in his hands. Jameis Winston looked like he picked him out and said, I'm going to throw you the football. The good thing is they have a new quarterback, but he's a guy who's going to give you chances. Okay? He threw 2 picks to Cincinnati, and Cincinnati's defense is horrific. They are horrible. Okay? Joe Flacco's going to make some turnover-worthy plays. It's just going to be the question, is this team going to be able to capitalize on those and actually get that turnover, actually force that interception, force that fumble? Because if they can, you're already better than them, and putting them in a hole is going to help. Predict the score for me, Ravens versus Browns, okay? What do you think it's going to be? I'm going to predict it in probably about 3 to 5 minutes, but I want you guys to get down there before me so that way I know you're not cheating, know you're not stealing my prediction. You let me know in the comment section down below. My fourth key to victory, you just got to avoid the stupid mistakes, okay? And I'm not talking like avoid things, biting on routes, getting burnt, missing blocks, things like that. I mean the even more frustrating and dumb ones that are kind of outside of the everyday plays. The way that bad teams win against teams that they are far worse than is by taking advantage of stupid mistakes that those teams give them. You are better than Cleveland. Now, the way Cleveland wins this game or makes it a game is if you make those stupid mistakes, if you stoop down to their level. So you must avoid at all costs turnovers, penalties, and special teams mishaps, okay? You can't turn the ball over. Like we talked about against Las Vegas last year, you had 9 penalties. And then the special teams mishaps, I'm not just talking about mixed extra point for Tyler Loop. I'm also talking about Trenton Simpson diving on a punt that was pretty much stopped at the 3 and taking it into the end zone with him. You can't be doing those things. And my fifth key to victory, this one's easy. One word, finish. You got to finish this game. You didn't finish last game. And I get it. The Bills are a lot better than Cleveland is. But this has been the problem with this team. Last time you lost to Cleveland last year, you didn't finish that game. When you lost to Las Vegas last year, you didn't finish that game. You must finish the game. The Ravens, they lost 8 games since 2021, in which at one point they had a win probability of 90%. They're not finishers. That has to change, okay? The way you let bad teams back into games is if you start playing not to lose instead of playing to win. So my score prediction for you, 38-17. I think that's the final. I think you win. I think you win big. I think you make a statement. And I think hopefully you can get in the win column and get back to 500 through week 2. That's going to do it for today's show. Make sure you guys get me on social media, on Twitter, and on Instagram. Same handle on both places. Make sure you also are subscribed to the channel. If you love the Ravens, then you'll join us right here daily on the Ravens Rundown.